Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
Well, it could be. Well, what's that? What's going on? We're being invaded. What is that? That's weird, man. That was weird. How is everybody? I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm going to try and tilt this up again. No, we got that thing back again. I think I got it. That's underneath my shelf for my Doctor Who figures. There you go. Because, what shelf is complete without Doctor Who figures? You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I know curiosity is a hard thing to live with. I'm going to take a picture of my eye view, right? So you can see what's on the shelf. There you go. Oh, I just lost the camera. 1 second. Let me try that again. Okay. It's a bit weird because I'm really I can see me in the computer. 1 second. There you go. Photo. Good. Now we go to how do we do that? Little sherry button. Airdrop. My computer. Okay, I found it. So it's doing good. I'm tapping it. It's waiting. Tap it. Unwrap it. Terrace chocolate orange. Oh, man. Go for a bit of Terrace chocolate bloody orange. When couldn't you go for Terrace chocolate orange? And Jaffa cakes. Oh, man, I can go for a Jaffa cake. So there you go. 1 second. You're going to see my my eye view. I don't know why this made me laugh, but it is. So you can see it's authentic because I'm there in the picture, right? I'm over here. Okay. Is it sharing? Let me make sure it's sharing. So if I do that, does that highlight it? Yeah, fine. So you can see I'm there. So here's my my mic I put up there. The only reason I bought a mic is because when I cleaned my computer one time, I must have got some fluid in the mic, and I never managed to get it out. So I had to buy a mic, the Razer X mic. Here, well, we see the Doctor Who figures. Well, I mean, we have all the Masters, and then we go into the Doctors. He gets up to Colin Baker. I like to have his blue coat as primary, personally. That's my favorite costume it is. Now, above we have the more themed Matt Smith set, but I like he's in the Pandorica there. I like the backgrounds as well. We got him coming up the TARDIS, young Amy, hot Amy. We have all the monsters in the Pandorica. I have this thought out pretty intently. So there you go. That's what happens. That's what happens. So okay, how is everybody? So today is the day after Shavuot. So it's a bit of an interesting holiday. In that the Ashkenazim, generally speaking, have dairy because in Judaism you can't mix meat and milk, which is a real bummer. Because whenever I see the awesome breakfast food, it's always like bacon, egg, cheese, sausage together, potato. I'm like, yeah, that looks good. Anyway, normally us Ashkenazis we have dairy. Normally on a festival you have meat. It's more like chashiv. It's more prestigious, right? Normally my kids will not put up with with milk cakes with dairy. My wife, they're just insane food, like just crazy. Dairy went dairy crazy. What did we have? It was so we have a night meal and you have a day meal. We had first you made this quite nice carrot and ginger soup. That was pretty good. It's like creamy carrot ginger soup. That was pretty good. Yeah. Then for the main course, she made homemade pasta. Right that day. It's like from flour. Like made it into like that day and rolled it out, and then like shredded it into like linguine or whatever it was. And like, and so that was pretty good. Oh shit! What did she have to? Is that? Do we have the twice baked potatoes that day? Because that was pretty darn good as well. No, I thought that was the next day. I can't remember. It all kind of merges into one. The day meal, we always have a fondue as like a first course, like a big milk fondue, which is basically a lot of alcohol and cheese and bread, right? And so that's always fun. Us and the kids, we all like. We have to have 2 pots because there's too many of us. We're in with the fondue, so the fondue's fun. And then we had we had fish, and the kids loved it. Man, they really. I don't think I had any. Oh yeah, we had what's it called again? Icini. Sorry, basically you take risotto, right? Make risotto, and then get a piece of mozzarella. You put it in the middle. You roll it up, make a ball of it. Then you bread that and fry it. That's arancini. That's really good. We had arancini. My daughter made those. That was excellent. Caesar salad. That was pretty good. So yeah, but here's the thing though. Us Jews are normally lactose intolerant, so it's not good having a whole nation eat dairy food. And then, I mean, to ridiculous excess. I like the traditional dessert, which I love. I absolutely love, is cheesecake, right? My wife hates cheesecake. I love cheesecake. Freaking love cheesecake. So anyway, this the day after, you're finding me a bit delicate, a bit lactose, like given added to that, there's a war going on, but I didn't really notice it today, right? It's been very quiet for me. My wife was going to get the bus, which ended up driving into work in Jerusalem. But I think basically everything was okay. I mean, the war. We're going to be looking at the John Oliver thing because John Oliver is a uptight, arrogant piece of shit. I think is a fair expression, right? I think it's a fair word to it's such a lying piece of human garbage. I mean, wow. I can't wait to go over his video when he pretends to be unbiased, talking about the Israel-Palestine thing, because that's crazy, right? That's going to be crazy. We're going to try and work out, this time fracture thing. You can't go to see it, and if you could, it's 50 bloody pounds a head, right? It's like 80 pounds a head. Like, what the hell? Like, we don't know what it is, right? We know that Jodie's in it. I know that, I know all the doctors are in it, but I don't want to see Jodie. Leave me alone. Ooh, it annoys me. I don't want to. Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I don't pay for that. I don't even know what it is. We're going to try and work out what it is. Right, that's really our mission tonight. I'll try and review what I can with Jupiter's Legacy. Okay, here's the basic problem with Jupiter's Legacy, right? It's a double story. One story I'm finding quite compelling and interesting. The other story I would rather shove a fist up my ass and continue. Freaking hate it. It's pointless. Okay, so you have it present day and you have it in the 20s, like late 20s, early 30s. When in late 20s, early 30s, a bunch of people get superpowers, and then in the present day, they're like old, right? And you see the world that they created. Present day stuff, I'm interested in, because that's basically what the comic was interested in. The pre-story in the comic took up 3 pages at the beginning. That's all you needed. Why? Because you know how it ends. You know how it ends. Who gives it? Oh my God. They're dragging their bloody feet. Getting to it's obvious. It's obvious they're going to get superpowers because we know they got why are you schlepping this out 8 episodes? It's so annoying. I would be fairly interested in the present day show, but they made a couple of changes. One change that I just found stupid and unnecessary. And also, I think the vibe of it is different than the comic, right? It's a lot more. The TV show is a lot more domesticated, right? The comic book's much more superhero-y, right? And it's like the superheroes, Kardashians are superheroes, which is kind of like with a like juxtaposed to a noble set of superheroes who are somewhat dissed today, right? However, now I'm saying it, I'm getting why they're getting it wrong, because they can't get the noble heroes to be noble in the present, because they're all they got this torturous journey in the past, but they can't get them to be noble because they don't know what nobility is. I think the people making it, they can't get them to be noble, which is a very simple primal thing, and they made like one of the vacuous youth characters into like an earnest version, which doesn't work at all. Basically, whenever they've gone away from the comic, it's garbage, and it is. And so I'm going to say the whole freaking show is garbage because this lengthy. I mean, again, I'm halfway through, and we got this 1920s story. I said, okay, here, spoiler alert: they're going to go to an island and get superpowers, right? That's it. We all know this. We all know this because who cares about his tortured journey? Just make him a noble archetype in the present, and they didn't even do that. They made them. It's all too postmodern. It just doesn't work. So I'm sorry. You know, like I like the superhero-y stuff. The sparks of it I like. If I could sift out all their garbage, you probably got a few episodes that ain't quite good, or a movie or something quite good. Maybe that somebody should do that, like a super edit of it, like just the good bit, because that's probably quite good. I might do that. I might go ahead and do that because, oh God, it's turgid. The story, the backstory story. Oh God, stop already. Can't stand it. I really genuinely can't stand it. So there we go. Jupiter's landing. We've knocked that off already. I can't freaking stand it. Leave me alone with it. Leave me alone. So that was the first story. What else was on the thumbnail? What else was on the thumbnail? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the thumbnail. Let's have a look at the thumbnail. Do you remember that thing when you went to the cinema? Like, let's go to the lobby and buy sun-kissed drinky. What was that called again? Oh man, I gotta find all those old ads. Now, if you know what that is, you're from a very similar time and space as me. Okay, fine. So we got to work out what the hell time fracture actually is. Oh, this is a great cosplayer, by the way. I saw her on what was it again? On May the 4th, right? So then I went to a page, totally sucked in. She's Geordie, which I didn't find so funny. I'm trying to get her on the channel, right? Oh yeah, we got to talk about the Star Wars story. God no, help! I forgot about that's the one story. So, yeah, so let me go through the chat. I'll let you look at the lovely model, the cosplay lass, I think she is. I can't remember. I'll look her up for you. But she's really good. Not only that, okay, she also makes cakes. Right? These really awesome cakes. It's crazy. It's like, how do you get more perfect? She's like, okay, insanely gorgeous, absolutely insanely gorgeous. But she makes all these like really intricate costumes, and I'm really kind of blown away by the artistry of it. I mean, like, you know, these wings and stuff, like, and it's like I can work out how to do that in a million years. It's really impressive. I have to say, I'm really, really very impressed. And so then you got the creativeness, and it's like a performance art. And she's super hot, right? Got that as well. And it's subject matter that I like. I'm a geek, so for me, this is all a freaking win. So she's I'm trying to get us come on the channel. I think, honestly, so she makes these. I was gonna say, on top of all that, she makes these insanely like incredible looking genre cakes, like zombie heads and stuff. It's kind of like how do you get more perfect? It's crazy. So yeah, so I will look up the name. Cosplay Lass or something. I think. Wait, actually, I got it written down here. 1 second. It is. Is it Gracie Cosplay? I think it could be Gracie Cosplay. Fine. Now, okay, I'll look her up. I'll look her up for you. Okay. And now I feel bad. I really should have credited her to start with. I think it's Gracie Cosplay. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Fine. So I'll put her link in the chat. Speaking of the chat, let me get to the chat. Hello, humans. How are you doing? Darren M, how are you doing? Merks Eddie, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Disaster, here we go. Chris Solar, how are you? That makes it afternoon. Oh, I actually have finally that piece of artwork done for you guys to see. Okay, we're ready to go with this. I think I know what we're going to do with it. Yeah, I think I have a nice idea. We will work through this together. Heather Sulu, how are you? PD Rich, how you doing? How's things in paradise? No missiles. Listen, every day's a blessing. No missiles. No missiles, no marauding gangs trying to get me. I feel it's a win. I feel that makes it a win for the day. Don't you? Steve Maru, how you doing, sir? There we go. At least the fireworks are good. What fireworks are going on? It's 18th of May. What happens on the 18th of May? Why do we have fireworks on the 18th of May? Somebody fill me in, please. Not many vegans in desert countries. Vegan. I have to tell you, I kind of like vegan food. I feel kind of stupid about this, but basically, I mean, I like a steak. I don't eat meat, but basically, I'm happy at eating vegan food now. Like, that's what happens when you get older. Right, it's true. I'm much more happy eating vegetables, right? I will have meat, or food, and I have more cheese than I have meat. But I basically just have I basically have vegan food. It's weird. And it's also, as vegan stuff is so prevalent, right? It's like, it's crazy. Like as I said, in Judaism, you don't mix meat and milk, so it's having all this like milk alternative. All this nut milk is just like all of a sudden the market said, yeah, we want milk, but not to be made out of moo cow milk. I'm like, what? Okay. And then like, how's this? And everyone's like, yeah, okay. Give me like 4 or 5 different varieties. Like, okay, here you go. You have rice milk, you have nut milk, you have almond milk, you have oat milk. Here you go. It's all milk, baby. It's all milk, but it's not milk. And like, yeah, okay, that sounds cool. I like that. That's called capitalism. It really is. That's how crazy capitalism is. They can say, "Can you break the rules of nature for me, and I will pay you?" And the capitalism go, "Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, here's some milk made out of I guess nuts. Okay, we'll make it out of nuts, and and it works. It is nuts. I don't understand how it works, but that's how it is." TK Charlie Chancellor, hi Rabbi, love the thumbnail. In nature, brightly colored creatures that can be poisonous, worth the risk. Yeah, again, so this guy, again, other than being gorgeous, the woman is so freaking talented. She really is. She's crazily talented. Oh man, just jump. Back. I think Robbie on the last person I saw. Robbie Boham, how you doing, sir? Let me see now, running through the chat. Okay, we're saying hello. We're saying hello. Evening, says QW. How's extended Guy Fawkes night over there? Well, again, I live out in the sticks, so it's really, for me, it's really quiet. Thank God. We've only had like a few, like the first night it was crazy. I couldn't believe I had to go to my bloody bomb shelter, And but since then it's been kind of quiet, right? I mean, it's much more fireworks online. I think on Twitter. That's why I'm looking forward to getting to this John Oliver, who I always thought was a prick, right? He's always now I know. He's such a huge prick. Oh, yeah, cheesecake is cool, awesome, baby. Fine. Who else is going on? Let me see. Here's Mark, unfunny and oily. Yes, I think that's how I would describe him. A lot of fraudulent causes appear There's where there's a conflict. LA had to apologize for tweeting people being beaten up and said it was Israel. Turned out it was Guatemala. Okay, well, they do that. They do that a lot. Actually, talking about hypocrisy, did you hear about the Glasgow crowd pulled 2 deportees over from a police van and took them straight to a mosque because they were brown and had beards? In all fairness, were they? Did they end up saying this is very racist, but I'm in the right place? Is that what happened? The crowd didn't ask them. Turned out they were 6. Okay, well, there you go. Pearl and Dean. There you go. Pearl and Dean. Cinema hot dogs. Which I kind of liked, dude. I kind of liked them. I hate to tell you this. I'm talking about the era before nachos and cheese, right? That was like crazy future time, Nobody had that was before sushi was a thing, right? That's how long ago it was. Fine. Bro Bing, how you doing, sir? And I think I'm nearly caught up. I've said hello to Disaster. If I haven't, I'm saying hello again. The Geek Inside, how are you, sir? Some vegan stuff is okay. Try vegan hot dogs once. It was nasty though. Well, again, if you have like a cheeseburger, a vegan, and in your kosher, a vegan, is a really good way. Is basically the only way to go. And Tracy Thomas is here. You know who else is here? Who else is here? I have somebody else to be my compadre through today's festivities. It's amazing, insanity. He's not just any geek. He's not just a minor geek. Well, I would say he's a mega geek. Mega geek, how are you? His microphone's off. He's aloof.
Hello.
That's how much better he is than us.
I've just come off Dan's channel.
I know.
I was just talking to him just now. Sorry.
I was listening to it right up until I came off.
How are you, sir? You right?
I am doing good. Did you see my video on my report of being in the apocalypse?
No, but Dan told me about it. I haven't seen it, but so how's it? You guys staying safe, obviously. And
yeah. I mean, listen, we did get. Let me see if I can find the picture of the missile that hit like right outside. It's like 200-300 meters away. It's like where? I'm looking for it on Facebook. I'm looking at if I look at my mayor, the local mayor is very good on social media.
Okay.
He's actually I love this mayor. He's awesome. He got us all like corona shots, like the first in the country.
Yeah.
Which I know. I understand. Oh, here it is. I understand the vaccine is somewhat controversial. I had no problem taking it. Like for me, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine.
I've got my last one to take. Yeah, in a couple of weeks' time. So I've had my first one. I'm gonna have a second one soon. So
yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, this is my neck of the woods, right? You see the house on the edge. That's the end of my street. That's literally the end of my street.
Oh wow! Oh, you're lucky. You're really lucky.
It was like 100 meters out from the houses.
Oh, that's scary.
It happens. It happens. What can you do?
Well, as I said, just try and stay safe and don't say anything untoward, otherwise that missile will come towards you.
One would hope not. PD Rich, I'm not even talking about supermarket sushi. I'm talking about the era before there was sushi, right? Do you remember? We're talking about the Pearl and Dean. Like what they had. What's that thing? Was it? I'll be your dog.
That was Kiora.
That's the one. There's this orange drink, right? That was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, the adverts in Pearl and Dean. Yeah, they had loads. They used to advertise restaurants, didn't they? Like come to Tandoori or something.
Go to the shitty trattoria.
That's it.
Enjoy sophistication.
Yeah, and used to remember all the film. There used to be like all the specs on the film and stuff, and he used to weave around because it was going through the projector. And that advert was played so many times. That's why it looked like crap. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, I loved it. There should be a show reel of them. Fine. Listen, first thing I was going to do, it's good to have a neutral party here. I was going to go through John Oliver's excruciatingly biased, trying to be unbiased take on the current situation, the current war in Israel. Would you care to join me for this?
Yeah, sure. Well, I really don't know much about it, but
that's great. I'm going to fill you in as we go. Right? I'm going to call his bullshit as it happens.
Okay.
Let's talk about Israel, because the biggest news of the week has obviously been this. This morning, the worst violence in years between Israelis and Palestinians is intensifying. Israel's military attacked new targets in Gaza.
I have to tell you, they're not exaggerating. This is, I mean, I've lived here since, what was it, 2005, and it's never been this crazy. Never, ever, ever, right? And nobody's ever remembered this crazy.
Well,
so,
why is this started? I don't understand.
Okay, essentially, the real reason is because the Palestinian Authority delayed their election another year. And they haven't had an election for 15 years. And Hamas is gaining a lot of ground politically if they want to seize power, right? So this is basically to take power from the Palestinian Authority, right? So that was the thing. They didn't realize it was going to get as crazy as it did, because they are so screwed right now. Like my son was in the military. He told me so much, like so much stuff I shouldn't know.
Yeah.
But which I'm not going to program. But what was I going to say? The pretext of this is there's this ongoing court case called the Sheikh Jarrah properties, right? Which is in 1948 when Israel was created. Jews were expelled from the old city, right? From lots of Arab controlled areas, right?
Yeah.
And so one of those properties were there. So then people moved in, and ever since '67 when they were regained, it's been a legal battle to see who owns it. The people who
I see.
Okay. Right, and so it's gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is essentially ruling in the favor of the original because they still got the deeds, right? So the Palestinians and Hamas is basically framing this as this is a political eviction to ethnically cleanse and replace with Jews, Arabs with Jews. Where the real irony is that does happen, but it's Jews being ethnically cleansed for Arabs. Last time it happened was 2005.
Yeah,
when Gush Katif was given over to the Arabs, which is why it's been this shit show ever since. But yeah, essentially. But yeah, so
looks scary though.
It escalated hugely.
Yeah.
It turns out Hamas was doing like a shock and awe campaign. They were trying to scare Israel into just fine. What do you want? Okay, we'll give you whatever. Whatever. They were looking for some I don't know stuff. But then, anyway, but they didn't really have a hand. They could maintain this missile barrage for about 3 months apparently, but we've done so much insane damage to them. I have to say I'm amazed. Biden has given basically the thumbs up. Netanyahu is on TV every night saying, Biden says it's okay. Thank you, Mr. Biden. Every night. Thank you very much. Yeah.
But it's a lot of people got. Well, actually, that's what I heard in the news. People got killed, right?
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah. Lots of people died. Yeah.
don't they just strategically fire the missile so they be less casualties, or they just firing?
Who are you talking about? The Israelis or the Hamas?
The ones that's firing the missiles.
Well, we both are.
Okay. See, I don't know anything about this. All I know is what's in the news.
A bit more accuracy, and like, we do it with some kind of precision. Basically, this is what it is. We're working on a way to degrade their ability to wage this war, right? So we set them back about 10 years. Okay, first day, they line up, they call up everybody from like, this is what happens in Israel. You do your army service, right? 4 years. Right, and then till you're 40, you could be called up and to do army service. Like you usually are once a year. So everyone was called up, right? Like everyone, like you normally fill in for other people while they go off and like fight a war or whatever. So like this is really heavy. They're planning a ground invasion. Ground invasion is a big deal. Ground invasion is a 3-month operation with a lot of casualties.
Yeah,
a lot. It's gonna be very bloody, right? So I'm like freaking out. They're lining the tanks up, right? They're doing the barrels. They're going to do a ground invasion. Everyone's reporting a ground invasion. So this is what happened. So Hamas sent all their advanced fighters out into this network of tunnels they built out under Gaza to like do a flanking maneuver when the troops move in, right? And instead of the troops moving in, the Air Force then carpet bombed that area, destroying this network of tunnel and like wiping out their. See, the problem is they're intertwined with the civilians. So we pulled their military personnel out from civilians and killed them, wiping out their infrastructure. So that's it was a good day for us. We did well for us. So, but you know. Yeah, it's been very, very, very bloody.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to stop anytime soon, though, does it?
No. Listen, have I not been saying for 6 months the world's going to end?
I hope
have
not.
I not been saying that around this time frame? Yeah, it's okay. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll be raptured. Maybe your guy's right. I just think the world's going to end, mate. I think it'll begin.
Well, here's hoping it doesn't, because I still want to live longer.
Honestly, this is what I think is going to happen. I think genuinely, I think we're going to experience a Egyptian Exodus level event now. Which means the reason you had like miracles and like flash cool stuff happening in that, other than it makes a good movie, is because that existed back then. Basically, all that went out the world about 2,300 years ago, right? When they got rid of this the ability to idolatry. You see when you did idolatry, you'll be able to sacrifice to an idol, and it worked. You'll get shit for it, right? Your crops will grow, whatever you wanted, it would work, right? But there was also, because of that, you had magic in the world, which also means you had miracles going on, like Red Sea parting, all that stuff, right? So it was so they got rid of the desire to do was it idolatry, which we got rid of magic, which got rid of basically ended all the sword and sorcery stuff from the world. We used to live in Conan. But there's all over that. Yeah. So then, by the way, they tried getting rid of the desire for sexual impropriety, but then they found nobody would do anything. The chickens wouldn't lay any eggs. Nobody would. It was like, yeah, what's the point? So they let that one back out. But anyway, so the idea is, within that world, it was it got to a point where everybody said, "Oh, this is God." Now, I want to point out to you in the Bible. In the first 2 plagues, people were like, well, this is kind of normal. Right? But they were like, when Moses threw his staff down, it turned into a snake. All the Egyptians, necromancers, did the same thing. Like, it was all kind of normal. So I think we're basically in the same phase right now. I think some shit's going to go down that's so crazy that everyone's going to go, oh, this is God. Right? That's how crazy. How crazy does that have to be? I don't know.
Well, I personally don't want it to happen, but
well, listen, the Talmud talks about it. It says it's the most scary times ever.
it does seem that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
I mean, and everything they talk about kind of seems to be happening. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah. Fine. Well, let's see what happens then. I guess.
Okay,
that's what we can do, really.
Fine. So let's with that context, this is this
Palestinian territory where militants are firing hundreds of rockets into Israel, and in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, Palestinian protesters fought with police.
Yeah, that's the crazy shit, right? We've had rockets before, we've never had this intensity, but at the same time, there's like riots going on inside Israel. You see, here's the weird thing: Israel is actually a very blended country. Basically, anywhere you go, you see Muslims, Arabs, Jews working and living together. It's the craziest thing. There's no problem. You go to any mall, any hospital, anywhere. It's Arabs and Jews. Because we all live here. What are you gonna do? It's like having a roommate. That like you don't really get on with. You all live together. Shut up. What's the big deal? So that's the weird thing. So now you've got a bunch of these like militant Arabs like rioting in Israel, like in Jaffa, which is like this. Jaffa is this pinnacle of coexistence. It's really so. This is what's freaking people out. So what's really pushed people over the edge? They burnt down a synagogue during this like initial phase, and like Israelis don't put up with that shit. Israelis, they just think of Berlin 1932. They're like, yeah, no, but this ain't going down. Like burning a synagogue is the absolute worst thing they could have done.
Yeah.
So it really is. It's like I don't tell you. So that's why things are really kicked off. Anyway, fine.
Over 80 Palestinians have been killed and 7 Israelis in this tit-for-tat war.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there, from the horror of the situation, which has escalated significantly since then, to the use of the phrase tit-for-tat war in a conflict where you just pointed out one side has suffered over 10 times the casualties.
So this is like they will harp on a lot, right? This will harp on a lot. We use our military to protect our citizens. That's how right. I'm actually in my bomb shelter right now, right? We use our military. We protect our citizens. They use their citizenry to protect their military, right? So it does. They have such incredibly low losses. Again, in urban warfare like this, there has been no army that has achieved anywhere close as small amounts of civilian losses as the Israeli army. That's just like factually true. That's like a statistic reality, right? It's like no one's even close to us. Like what we do is, if it's a civilian population, like you probably heard about this tower that was blown up. They say they phone up everybody in it and say, could you get out of there in the next hour? Because we're going to blow it up. Normally military, they don't tell the enemy where they're going to fire, but we do that. But even so, we have like this Iron Dome thing. Yeah, we are incredibly more powerful, right? That I agree with you. We could carpet bomb Gaza into extinction within probably 4 days. Right, yeah. I mean, like without using nuclear weapons, but we wouldn't do that because it's wrong. It's the wrong thing to do.
It's a good stance to be in, though. Yeah, it's a good stance to be in, though. If you have morals, and it's a good stance to be in, right?
It's a shame we have to be in the stance.
Like
honestly, we believe in the same God, us and Muslims.
Yeah,
it's like again in Israel, we all just get along. What's the big deal? Like, why can't you just have an Arab state? Why don't they have a Palestinian state, right? Where they let have the same let Jews live there, like we let Arabs live. Just be normal, and everybody's happy. That's it. It's like What? I don't mind. You can call it Palestine, whatever you want. Have your state, have my state, and well, why don't we get on? Because we could do better, you know, like we're doing okay. You can do, I mean, like Gaza should be a paradise, man. Gaza should be an economic paradise. It's beachfront property, right? Right next to the biggest, technology boom in the freaking world. It should be an economic paradise. And that's what we were promised, by the way, when we gave it to them to bloody, to develop their own state in. They developed this. It's crazy.
Well, war doesn't have any reason, does it? Let's face it. People that wars are caused by ridiculous reasons.
Yeah. It's like, what's that? Remember that show, Whoops Apocalypse?
Yeah, I remember it.
It's
yeah, it is. Yeah,
I think we're actually watching that. Anyway, yeah. So he will help. Yes, there are far more Gazan casualties than Israeli because we live in bomb shelters and we are, you know, we are just incredibly stronger. Yeah, we listen. We had turned up here. We were refugees from the Holocaust. Yeah, we survived. And we did pretty well. I'm sorry. But you're still trying to kill me. What do you want? What? We're happy to live with you. Stop trying to kill. That's the only rule, right? That's really the only rule that we need to agree on. Don't try and kill me because I'm Jewish. That's it. Once we all agree on that, I think we can come to terms, right?
Well,
they're like, no, it's my right to kill you because you are Jew. I'm like, but I'm really not up for that. Would you really rather not? How about I just kill you if you're Jew if I kill you from mosque? Is that okay? No, really, no. I don't know. No, I don't want to be killed because I'm really. That's the loggerhead, right? That's really the loggerhead we're at right now. So anyway,
is this guy reporting it right then? This fella?
No. So let's do
something which speaks to both the severe power imbalance at play here and how that often gets obscured by how we choose to talk about it. And look, if you are not fluent in Middle East history, I know this can seem overwhelming.
Well, better luck for you, John. I am.
The latest chapter of the story you haven't read. So I'm not going to try and recap the history here.
Yeah, I know you're not, because you're going to look like a twat because you want to support the Palestinians because you are a liberal, brainless twat. That's why. So no, I swear you don't want to recount the history because at every bloody turn that you look like a twat. That's why.
Is this show in America, by the way?
Yes.
All right. That explains it then.
Propose a solution, although interestingly, I do have one because.
By the way, as AT&T have, I think they've sold HBO Max to that kid.
Have they?
Oh, something to Discovery? Like this. You would have thought Discovery Network would have been like the subsidiary, but no, it's not. They sold Warner Brothers and HBO Max to them.
Is that true though? Did that actually happen?
Yeah,
it was a rumor, right?
No. That's reported.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he works with them. I hope they're going to clean house. It's probably the end of DC Comics. I mean, they're going to look at the legend and go say, "Yeah, what are we doing this for? This is crazy." Anyway, let's go back to his Mr. Twatdom.
With this accent, all thinks they can fix things in the Middle East. I redrew the map a bit, and I have a lot of misplaced confidence that it would work very well. But this week's actually been a pretty good reminder that while some things are incredibly complex and require a great deal of context, others are just wrong.
He's now going to list the things that are incredibly complex that need a great deal of context and will remove the context and the complexity whatsoever.
Take, for instance, one of the incidents that's been a flashpoint, the planned expulsion of Palestinians who've lived in the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood for generations. It's currently tied up in the Israeli court system, with the foreign ministry calling it a real estate dispute. But it's worth knowing that the UN's Commissioner for Human Rights has said that these expulsions would violate Israel's obligations under international law. So,
all right, so there you go. So, as I said, he's framing it as this is the Israeli government expelling Arabs to ethnically cleanse them to replace them as Jews. That's the narrative that's going on. As I said, it's a legal dispute that's been going on since 1967.
So he's reporting it wrong then.
Yeah, but he's doing it because he's a twat.
I think it's
I mean, I honestly, I could just leave it paused and say he's a twat. And I think the pictures agrees with me completely. But we'll let him keep going.
Yeah. Well, it's not hard to see why sanitized terms like evictions or property disputes,
or what, like the actual genuine real terms of what these actually genuinely are,
rankle those who live there.
You grew up in the neighborhood, your family home is slated for eviction. What is the scene right now?
Well, thank you so much for having me. To start, it's not really an eviction. It's forced ethnic displacement to be active.
Yeah, maybe you're just saying that because you're full of shit. Maybe that. I don't know. Maybe you're saying that because that makes you sound more sympathetic. No? Maybe because you have no leg to stand on? Could be. But yeah, let's not look at the other side of the story because there's no nuance.
Accurate. Eviction does not imply the hundreds and hundreds of heavily armed police and army and settlers colluding, blowing up your doors, throwing your...
Okay. No, okay. Okay. I was with you with the hundreds of police. I can believe you, right? I believe you with the army, right? Okay. Yes, you seem to be putting up a bit of a struggle to being evicted. I agree. But now there's settlers looting. Sod off. You don't have anything we want. Piss off. We're not looting from you. Nobody's blowing you up or throwing grenades at you. 1 second, I think we'll say in a second.
Children from your windows and using brute force to throw you out in the street and assaulting and arrest you should you resist.
Yes, because you've gone through every court in the entire freaking world. It's not yours, okay? Your great-great-grandfather moved in when your government ethnically cleansed it from Jews. The Jews say, excuse me, could I have my money back, please? And you're like, screw you, dear. I not give you. No, screw you. No. I understand you're not happy, but you're not being ethnically cleansed, okay?
It doesn't imply the grenades. It doesn't imply the...
There's no fucking grenades.
Right.
There might be rubber bullets.
Well, why is he saying that then? Because he's a twat. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. What disadvantage is it? Shouldn't say it whatsoever. This man is going to believe him unquestionably, right? He said it now, so therefore it's true. There is nothing else. There is no other reality whatsoever. He said it, and those sneaky Jews better keep their damn mouths shut. Basically is where he is.
The threat of eviction is accurate only in a very superficial level.
I mean, the exact definition terms of eviction.
One day you live somewhere, the next day you don't, and that change wasn't your choice. But it doesn't tell the whole story. It's like running a headline that says, Matt Gaetz reaches out to Florida youth. Sure, not...
Yeah, this is more of his very unbiased... Matt Gaetz, I think, is a politician probably in trouble.
Inaccurate, but it's missing some pretty crucial details about the exact nature of that interaction. And look, it is true that militants from Palestinian groups like Hamas fired over 1,000 rockets towards Israel this...
Just 1,000 rockets? Motherfucker! Yeah, you're saying that with a shrug. Piece of shit!
1,000 rockets? That's bad. That's really bad.
I mean, no, this is what... Here, 1 second. Dan said, let me just... I was meant to say the link earlier. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Okay, Dan, if you're still in my chat, can you say hello to Sarah for me? Thank you. Yeah, no, okay. But the thing is, here's the thing about anti-Semitism, which is incredible. It's the one prejudice that makes you feel good about yourself. Okay? It's like, if you don't like black people, you know you're a piece of shit. Okay? There's no way of sugarcoating it. You know you're a piece of shit. Okay? There's no way around it, right? Every time with anti-Semitism, they're like, no, the Jews are being evil and they're oppressing somebody. They're using Christian baby blood. They're doing whatever. It's the prejudice that allows you to feel good about yourself. Anyway, as I continue.
And that is reprehensible. But, and I realize this is the most load-bearing conjunction in history, but the majority of those rockets thankfully didn't reach their target.
Yeah, excuse you, motherfucker. What? Okay, what? Okay, so let's say I go into a gas chamber and it happens not to work. The Germans are fine. We're all friends again. No, I'm sorry that their rockets are shit, and we have bomb shelters. I'm sorry, but for God's sake, you're still trying to kill me.
The casualties and the damage would have been greater, but for Israeli interceptor rockets, the so-called Iron Dome, which blew most of the incoming missiles to pieces.
Yeah, Israel has a so-called Iron Dome.
Yeah, where did we get that from, cocksucker? Where did that magic from? Did that fall out of our ass? No, okay, it's one of the most brilliant inventions in the history of humanity, which we were forced to invent because pieces of shit like you get upset when we don't die.
Well.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, long time no see, Ian.
Yes.
Having fun, boy.
Mega Geek wandered in by mistake.
I wandered in. I wandered into a war. That's what I wanted into.
Listen, I don't know about how your viewers and subscribers feel. Some of us are really worried about you, Tzvi. I hope you're okay.
Listen. It's like this. It's like this. When your time's up, your time's up. There's nothing you can do about it. It's like when your time's up, your time's up. You can't hide. You can't just leave you. Don't be a schmuck. Okay, like when I want to go on the roof during a rocket attack, that's probably being a schmuck. Okay, I shouldn't.
Just a touch. Yeah.
You shouldn't have.
But I might do that. I have friends of mine who live on the hill, like next to me. Yeah. Like, did you see the picture of the?
I did. So, I mean, I've seen pictures of your hometown before, and it's such a beautiful place. And since you informed me about this last week, I've seen some people, I won't name them, and some of them are people that are members of my bloody family who're so ignorant talking about this conflict, and they don't know anybody who's there. They don't understand the scale of the. I know I don't understand all of it, but some of the things that people are saying, it just blows my frigging mind when I then come and speak to you and see pictures like that. So
it's kind of what. Listen, it's never been like this. It's never been like this.
She's still smiling.
Well, look, my son who's in the military tells me it's going to be over in a day or so, right? But the whole thing is about degrading Hamas's ability to do. Hamas have had their asses handed to them in oh my god, like they never believed. They had their asses handed in such an insane way.
Yeah.
No wonder they want a ceasefire. That makes sense.
So what's this gobshite saying with John Oliver?
I don't know. Firstly, he was upset that that we're stronger. He was upset that we have more guns. I'm like, what do you want? I said, look, we came in with nothing out of the swamp from the Holocaust. I'm sorry we survived. Okay, so now he's upset about the Iron Dome because we knocked out most of their missiles. So anyway, I just stop every now and again and interject my commentary. You'll get the drift in a second.
What if we blow up the rockets with more rockets? Sounds like something someone drunkenly wrote down on a napkin once, but it is a real military defense system that really works. And I also know not all the rockets were shot down. Israeli civilians were killed this week, which is terrible. But the point is, this isn't tit for tat.
Yeah, no. The point is, they're fucking sending rockets at me. Motherfucker, I'm sorry. Listen. It's really simple. It's really simple. If you send rockets at me, we will defend ourselves. I'm sorry, we're stronger. I'm sorry. How about this? Don't send the rocket. Don't send the rocket. It seems to me that if you don't send the rocket, everybody does better, right? Everybody does better. But okay, that seems to be a fact he's missing. Okay.
I don't like this guy. I never have.
Yeah, well, no. He is a twat.
Massive imbalance when it comes to the two sides' weaponry and capabilities.
Is he English? Is this guy English?
I'm afraid so. Yeah. Oh. Another embarrassment up there with Prince Harry.
Oh boy, that's him sucking Harry's cock right there. Oh, you're so unlucky.
Well, most of the rockets aimed toward Israeli citizens this week were intercepted. Israel's airstrikes were not. They hit.
Yes, I know. We're better. Yes, I'm sorry. What do you want? I'm sorry. We're better. Jesus, what? Like, really? Like, what? Why is? I mean, like, why are we in trouble? like, why is that a problem? Anyway, so.
Their targets, including a house in a refugee camp, a building housing the Associated Press and Al Jazeera.
By the way, that building was demolished in the middle of a town, in the middle of a high density with zero casualties. You know how it's demolished with zero casualties? Because we phoned them up and said, "Could you please leave, please?" That's where Hamas has their intelligence offices.
Yeah.
So we want to blow them up, and they're like, and we demolished it with zero casualties.
That's what they call tactical with a care package.
Yeah.
And this 13-story office and apartment building. And what Israel insisted that there were military targets in that building.
The reason we insisted there were military targets in the building, because there were military targets in that building, you piece of shit! Like, oh look, it comes out of a Jew's mouth. It can't be real. Like, and you want to tell me you're not an anti-Semite? Yeah, well, why are we lying? Why did you say insisted? You are a piece of human garbage.
Oh dear. So hold on. So they moved everybody out that building before you blew it up.
Yes.
Right. And he's saying what? You didn't?
No, he's saying that we blew it up. And when meanie pantses, because people. No, he's saying that he's saying that the justification that they were military targets is we insisted they were military targets. Yes, the reason we insisted they were military targets because they were military targets. That is not
Clearly.
in any way in dispute. No one says they weren't military targets, right? That's why you're saying insisted, because he wants to throw doubt upon it.
And they destroyed it as humanely as possible. Even
actually, we did, cunt.
Warning people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, again, what military phones up their enemy and says, "Can you get out of the way, please?"
Destroying a civilian residence sure seems like a war crime, regardless of whether you send a courtesy heads-up text.
Well, I know it seems like a war crime to an anti-Semite cunt like you. However, turns out that war crimes are happening from Hamas, not us. Piece of shit. But they're okay. All those rockets that you shrugged on, which are aimed into civilian population, they're okay. Why? You tell me why.
I've never heard of it before. I think it's a courtesy that not many would extend.
Well, no, okay. The real courtesy was in 2014. We worked out a final measure. We called it a knock on the roof. We tell everybody to get out, right? Everybody, please leave. And then before we blow up the building, we send a one bomb with just a lot of noise. It doesn't do anything other than, and it says then you got 3 minutes. Yeah, at that point you got a few minutes, which is still more than I had to get get my bloody air raid shelter. Was it a couple of nights ago? Which I didn't get in time, but the second I did.
So what makes this geezer an expert? That's what I don't understand. Why is he always
the smell of his own farts? The smell of his own farts are
never stops.
Superpower. Yes, the smell of his own farts gives him the insane superpower of I don't know, no.
So all this fake outrage, it's what really, it really grinds my gears about these programs. I mean, I don't watch any of them, obviously.
Oh
but,
no, I think his outrage is genuine. Again, I'll say to Ian, the thing about anti-Semitism is it's the only prejudice that makes you feel good about yourself, because it's always you are have the moral high ground. Right, the Jews are they drinking Christian baby blood? The Jews are doing it, whatever. But this is the face. This is what they always feel. They always feel like they've been, morally superior.
Well, he has a tie and he has glasses and he looks pretty official, doesn't he? You know what I mean? So people are, so dumb people are going to believe what he's saying. Of course, they're going to.
And also people have a prejudice to believe them. I mean, like the entirety of the media. And the good thing about the last few years is people see what bullshit the media is. That's why I picked up on it straight away, because I'm used to this. But like people now see what utter bullshit the media is, which makes me feel better. Yeah,
now I see all this anti-Semitism. It's I can't unsee it. I know exactly what you mean.
It's so weird as well. It's so weird.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Their homes or livelihoods destroyed. It doesn't really help that the Israeli military posted this triumphant meme showing the explosion and the rubble labeled before and after. Look what we did. People lived there before and now they can't. You get it, right? And obviously,
yeah. Don't fuck with us. Is what again. The message is really, really simple. Don't fire a rocket. It's really simple. If you do this, we will hurt you. I would rather not hurt you. That's really kind of the bottom line. It'd be much simpler if you could decide not to try and kill us. And I know you're not going to manage it. But still, we're going to try and stop you. Call it a habit.
General, you should probably never meme a war crime. But if you absolutely have to...
Again, not a war crime. And the war crimes are that every missile fired into Hamas, fired by Hamas, which he shrugged about.
At least go with something less boring than the before-after template. Maybe use the Drake meme or the disaster girl. There's a building coming down, so checkmark already there. And it's a little girl with eyes that scream, I don't know what the Geneva Conventions are, and frankly, I don't care. The more I think about it, it works perfectly. The fact is...
Again, the intimation that anything is a war crime is offensive.
I don't understand why he is not reporting what's really going on. I mean,
look, there's a few things going on. Firstly, he gets woke points, and the wokies love John Oliver. They absolutely adore John Oliver. So he gets woke points. So yeah, he says the things that wokies love. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, he believes it, and the third thing is, look, listen. You go to my personal theories on what. Again, I don't think anti-Semitism is the right word. Okay, but I think there is a very normative bias against groups that make up vast majority Jews within non-Jews. Like there is a very normative bias, right? And it's very uncommon not to fight. I mean, yeah, I would say the bias exists in a good 30 to 40%. Probably more. Probably more.
Well,
but I think, and so that I think that it's feeding off that as well.
It's a terrible world we live in.
It is.
Yeah. Listen, dude. Dude, I have to tell you, you've got to laugh. Don't let it get on top of it. It's like you gotta laugh. It's gonna be there, and it's just like, what can you do? What can you do? You take the piss out of them. That's my
your philosophy.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of taking the piss, what else you got to say?
The citizens of Gaza don't have an Iron Dome to protect them.
Yes, I know. So maybe don't fire missiles, you ignorant cunt.
The way that the citizens of Israel do. It's one of the many ways they're at a significant disadvantage.
Yes, maybe don't start a fight with us.
Although an Israeli military spokesperson tried to push back on the idea that there's really much of a discrepancy there.
Somebody on Twitter said that the Palestinians don't have an Iron Dome. I say yes, they have an Iron Dome. It's called Don't Fire Rockets at Israeli Civilians, and we won't fire anything at Gaza.
Yeah, again, I don't know what his answer is going to be. That seems to be a very reasonable point of view, doesn't it?
Yes.
Common sense.
That will give you complete insulation. But no, John Oliver, it's his right. It's his right to defend. Hamas's right to commit war crimes.
Yeah, but there are a couple of differences. Iron Dome, for one, sounds much cooler. And also, it has the significant advantage of being an actual defense system that exists, unlike Gaza's, which is mostly try not to be where the bombs are landing.
You dick! Again. The reason the bombs are landing there is because you're firing fucking missiles at me! It's like really? How hard is that to work out? But no, that doesn't matter. That actual genuine war crime doesn't matter. No, it's only our response that matters.
And it's important to note here, the vast majority of Palestinians in Gaza are not part of Hamas.
Okay, who voted them? Who voted them in? The Gazans. They are overwhelmingly Hamas. That's crazy. Are you saying it's a mostly peaceful terrorist organization? is that a mostly peaceful? Mostly, yeah. Okay, we had mostly peaceful. This is a mostly peaceful protest. I understand, and this is a mostly peaceful police action.
They don't get together and all decide to launch rockets. It's not a fucking co-op board.
Actually, that is what happens. And the place where they decided to launch the rockets was in the office building that has Al Jazeera and the Associated Press in. That you got your knickers in a twist. They blew up earlier.
When Israel fires rockets at Gaza, it endangers all Palestinians there. Maybe somebody on Twitter could point that out to that guy.
Yeah, again, very simple, very simple. 100% defense is don't fire rockets at us. Really, that's it. All you got to do. And I think you would save. Think of the money you could save when you don't fire rockets. When you don't need to buy them. You don't need to maintain them. And you can all have really nice vacations. You can have incredible vacation homes. You can have it right there, or you can go away because you're saving a lot of money, right? Easy peasy. But again, John Oliver, doesn't matter that they're trying to kill me.
To people in Gaza, it can seem like the only time anyone pays attention to what's happening there is when Hamas is firing rockets, which is understandably very frustrating because they've been living...
Well, yeah, all Hamas has to... Okay, if Hamas says, we're done with this rocket stuff, we're done with the killing Jew stuff. If you didn't know, in Hamas's charter, the reason for existing is to kill Jews. And I'm not making this up, okay? This is not exaggeration. That's in their charter, it's to kill Jews wherever they can be found.
Unbelievable.
That's actually, like in black and white. There's like that. This is what we are here. How did we make this woman fuzzy? I think we just did. It's a good job.
Under a suffocating blockade for 14 years. And
yes, again, suffocating blockade because they want to kill her. Again, if he wouldn't just ignore that, it would all make sense to him.
In Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories, Palestinians are essentially being governed by a form of apartheid.
No, because we all exist under the same law. We all exist in the same. And I know you want to say apartheid. I know you love apartheid, right? I know you love saying apartheid. But no. I say again, you go to Israel, you will find a completely blended population. We have Arab Muslims on our Supreme Court who win MasterChef. Okay, what else do you want out of life? Okay, there is no apart. If there's an apartheid in Israel, we would be somewhat apart from one another. But we're not. We're not. Yes. Arabs are not allowed into my town because they will try and kill me. How do I know they'll try and kill me? Because before we put the wall up, there was an attack where they killed a few people. That's why we had to put a wall up, because they try and kill us. Now, I understand not all Arabs do that. My pharmacist, lovely guy, he's an Arab. Most Arabs are, not on board for it. But what do you want out of me? Okay.
But still, I don't understand why they don't. This is a news show, right? Is this a news show?
No, it's a satirical show. So
I see. Okay, because wouldn't they usually have both sides of the story?
No. And honestly, on CNN, the reason CNN's been reasonably quiet because they're supporting Biden, and Biden's like, I think what happened was, I think Bibi phoned up Biden, and he just like. Listen, one time I heard Bibi like Bibi's very good, on the cuff. One time during an election, was about 10 years ago, they had Bougie, which was his big rival, who was funded by Obama. Bougie was waiting on this radio station to ambush Bibi, right? And they phoning up Bibi, right? And Bibi and it was going to be Bougie there to ambush him, right? And my Hebrew was just good enough to get this. Bibi just destroy Bushes. And like he was there waiting for him, and Bibi just came in and just completely destroyed him. He's very good with words. So I imagine if he spoke to Biden, and Biden's like, and B was like, yeah, you want to do this and that? Here, we'll give you that, this, and people was like, oh yeah, sounds good, and we'll do it. And that's basically what I think happened. This is my guess. It doesn't make any sense how Biden's been like. I was at Dan. I said earlier, every night on TV, Bibi's been like, and thank you, President Biden. Fuck you! How the last week he said okay.
Things aren't going too well over there for him either, are they?
No.
No, they are. This is great news for him. This is his strategy, his political strategy is a war of like attrition. He's outlasted every major rival so far in this. Like we haven't had a government for 2 years. Every time we have an election, it comes because we have very proportional representation. Everybody, it's come out that it's such a deadlock. Nobody can make a government. So we haven't had a government for 2 years. And Bibi's made a couple of deals that he's then, by the person accepting the deal, it's destroyed them politically. So when they had a next election in 6 months, which they've had every 6 months the last 2 years, that guy gets worn out. So he's taken out his three main rivals so far. So he's like the Kathleen Kennedy of politicians. He's never leaving.
Yeah.
Fine. Listen, this is taking forever. I want to finish.
Yeah.
That's echoed by both international and Israeli human rights groups.
Yeah, no, but Salem is insanely left wing, insanely more left wing than the. Yeah, that's the other thing. This is a legal matter in the courts. The Sheikh Jarrah thing. The courts are incredibly left wing.
Life in Gaza is hard, even when they are not being bombed, and the U.S. government has implicitly co-signed on the brutally hard line Israel's been taking. This guy basically gave Israel a green light to do anything.
Okay, let me tell you what this guy gave him a green light to. There was a thing called the Martyrs Fund, right? Which is when you murdered a Jew, you were there, and then you were arrested and sent to prison. Or if you injured a Jew and you're arrested and sent to prison, you would then get a stipend. Your family would then get a salary during your prison term. Essentially, it was monetizing racial violence. 100%. So that was fine under Obama's reign. Corbyn loved this thing, by the way. It's called the Martyrs Fund. He personally fundraised for it. So Trump, when he came and said, "Well, we're not going to give you any money while you have state-sponsored racist violence," that would be bad. That would be bad. So he withheld that. I guess I haven't even been watching. I guess Biden has probably given it
back. Yeah,
I would have thought.
I think it wanted for the last 4 years, and while Biden has had the opportunity to reset that relationship, his administration's response this week has been deeply underwhelming.
It's been. I tell you, I have no idea how it's been so good.
Giving a generic statement that Israel has a right to defend itself.
Well, okay. Does Israel have a right to defend itself? I mean, I would love to ask somebody like this. Like, what is okay in terms of self-defense, right? Like, at what point? Because his premise is we have enslaved and occupied and imprisoned the Gazans and the Palestinian people, and we've stolen their land, and we hate them, and we're racist against them. That's it. That's his attitude, his belief, which is a complete nonsense. That's the Hamas line, but that's a complete nonsense. But then again, yeah, Israel does have the right to defend itself. So that's why he's saying it, and like, because he's saying they're using that as a smokescreen into pursue a policy of racist ethnic cleansing. And again, I want to point out, if we wanted to destroy Gaza, we could carpet bomb it. It'll take about 4 days, and we will kill everybody. And we could do that. We have without even using nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons will take 5 minutes. But we could do that. But we won't do that because it is wrong. You know, it's like it's like actually my daughter and my son was talking this yesterday over Shavuos, the holiday. Because my daughter is getting like very we're war. Why can't we just bomb them? And my son was like very morally, he's like, no, because that's wrong. Because we can't. They're actually women. Yes, they want to kill us. Yes, but still they're you can't just murder people. So that's the basic conversation I had. Anyway, that's it.
It's the exact same line that Obama said and that Bush said before him.
Because it happens to be the truth. Israel has a right to defend
Israel
itself.
has a right to defend itself. It's just something all presidents end up saying out loud at some point in office, like my fellow.
Oh, he's lost.
Doing that a lot. He's doing that a lot. Really?
He loves the sound of his own voice so much.
Children have been killed this week.
Again, why he isn't blaming Hamas for the death of the children? Again, why isn't firing the rockets? Why is that inconsequential? Like, so not just inconsequential. It doesn't exist. It's as if they're not doing that, right? The way he's ranting as if they're not doing anything.
In a single strike just yesterday, and the US is heavily implicated here. Not just by serving as Israel's diplomatic shield at the UN, but by constantly refusing to criticize the indefensible.
No, I've defended it completely. You just ignored the salient fact that they are initiating this combat.
Just this week, a State Department spokesman desperately tried to equivocate when asked a pretty simple question.
I want to ask you, I don't want to harp on this either, but the Israelis killed 13 people just now, including maybe 5 or 6 children. Do you condemn that? Do you condemn the killing of children?
Yeah, again, everybody condemns the killing of children, but he doesn't want to condemn Israel for killing children. I think the condemnation has to go to Hamas.
Said,
I'm asking, do you condemn the killing of Palestinian children?
Obviously, and these reports are just emerging, and I understand. I was just speaking to the team. I understand we don't have independent confirmation of facts on the ground yet, so I'm very hesitant to get into reports that are just emerging.
Doesn't want to answer it.
Deaths of civilians, be they Israeli or Palestinians, are something we would take very seriously.
Holy!
Yeah, okay. What he said was completely right. They would take deaths of people seriously. However, he finds the death of Jews somehow far less bothersome, than the death of Palestinians.
Shit, he just asked you, is child murder bad? This really isn't hard. Just say yes. The only scenario in which the answer to is killing children wrong gets tricky is if you're a time traveler in 1890s Austria trying to explain why you just killed the Hitler family's bouncing you baby boy.
Okay, John, answer this question. Is the killing of children in Gaza Hamas's fault? Is that wrong? Are they wrong to fire the rockets? Are they? Yes or no? No? Can you answer? I bet you can't.
I know how this looks, but trust me, it is complicated.
Yeah, it's not complicated. You're just a spineless cunt.
Look, there is a real tendency, particularly in America, to both sides this situation. And I'm not saying that there aren't some areas where that's warranted, but it's important to recognize there are also areas where it's simply not. Both sides
I think that's... Oh, man.
But one side has one of the most advanced militaries in the world.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, again, the reason why he doesn't want to present both sides is because he has no side.
Both sides are suffering heartbreaking casualties, but one side is suffering them exponentially. And it's not like the US.
Yeah, exactly. The side causing it. Why does he constantly ignore it? Because he doesn't care.
Operating from the moral high ground here, it's obviously no stranger to drone striking weddings and saying, we were just trying to target enemy combatants.
We are just trying to target enemy combatants. In fact, we don't even target enemy combatants. We target enemy infrastructure.
Country has blood on its hands too. And look, if you believe Israel's actions are warranted and proportionate
they are warranted, they are proportionate. You are a spineless cunt.
Week, You're welcome to try and make that argument.
I just did. I've done that for the last hour, and you look like what you are, a slimy, spineless cunt.
But we have got to start having this conversation honestly. And
come on the channel, cocksucker. I'll have the honest conversation with you.
You know what? You ought to contact him. I think you should. If this guy has got, tweet him or something, because this man puts himself everywhere, and he never seems to talk to anybody who. Well, he never seems to actually have a conversation with anybody. Every time I see him, he's speaking like this.
He's always insanely one-sided.
In sanitized terms like real estate disputes, and
it is indeed a real estate dispute.
Airstrikes on militants.
Yes, it is an airstrike on militant.
Feels a little disingenuous when what you're describing is forcing people from the homes they've lived in for decades. And
again, this is I'm not sure if you're here, Dan, for the preamble with the Sheikh Jarrah thing. Essentially, in 1948, Israel had the war of independence. It lost some territory in East Jerusalem, and then all the Jews were ethnically cleansed from there. They were forced to leave.
Okay.
They own property in this thing called Sheikh Jarrah. In '67, they made it. They managed to win that property back, but there have been a bunch of squatters in there for the last 19 years. So they had rights. It's been in the courts ever since. It's essentially, they're basically looking for their rent. If they're not going to pay rent, then they're going to be evicted. Right? That's essentially what it is. And that's what it's been about all the time. It is a real estate dispute. It generally again the real source of this conflict is this is a power grab from Hamas, from the Palestinian Authority. They delayed elections again for another year as Hamas were politically gaining ground. They would probably win the election. So that's what's really going on. And this is all again, this guy says, "Oh, they're ethnically cleansing me. It's so awful." And this guy's like, "Yeah, okay, what he says must be true."
Killing civilians and children. And again, none of this frees Hamas from responsibility. But Hamas,
well, you spent most of this time freeing them from responsibility.
Doesn't represent all Palestinians, just as what Israel is doing right now doesn't represent all Israelis.
You know what? I'm happy for it to represent all Israelis. It basically does represent all Israelis.
Indeed, Jewish people.
Any Jew not behind this is a schmuck.
Lots is but some things are pretty simple.
Yeah, you're an anti-Semitic cunt.
One side is suffering much more.
And one side's starting it.
And if America really wants to help, it might want to
get the side to starting it to stop.
Seriously consider changing its long-held position here, because for decades...
Well, the long-held position of Israel has a right to defend itself.
The backbone of America's policy in the Middle East has been that America is an unwavering friend to Israel, which is
the only democracy in the region, the only place where there's LGBTQ rights, the only place where there is where we have a similarity of morality, the only place where there is women's rights, the only race there is freedom of religion. It's the only place. Yes, that is why that America, generally speaking, supports us.
Great thing to try and be. At the end of the day, I would hope that a real friend would tell me when I'm being an arsehole.
Okay. John. I'm a real friend. I'm a real friend. You are a cocksucking piece of shit arsehole. You are the arsehole of arseholes. You look like an arsehole. You sound like an arsehole. You smell like an arsehole. You make me feel like I'm experiencing an arsehole. You are the absolute definition of an arsehole. You're welcome, mate. I'm only telling you this because I love you so much.
So just breaking this down slightly, basically they attacked, you defended, and you defended in such a way that you didn't really want to kill people. You just aimed at the infrastructure of the buildings and stuff, right?
That's essentially what it was.
That's essentially what it was. And he's saying that basically you are wrong for firing those missiles, and even if you're giving out a message saying clear the building, we're going to fire that missile,
there is no way that we have any way other than morally inferior.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yes,
which that's the breakdown.
Yes,
which is a real. Yeah, he really is not getting it because you're there. He's not.
Right. Right,
You know?
I know, and also again, but even look, even if I like you're there or not, it's still like there are objective realities that you're like, you keep saying this is a nuanced situation, but some things aren't. Like the things I'm going to turn that make me look like a stick. Yeah, no, exactly. The things you're not looking at on nuance are the things that are very important. Like again, yes, there are more casualties there are more deaths on the Palestinian side. A lot more deaths. That's right, and there are more children being killed. There are children being killed in Gaza. Every civilian death is a tragedy, and everybody on the Israeli side mourns for it. Everybody on the Palestinian side rejoices every civilian death, because either it's an Arab death that makes them look good, that makes the people like this go, "Oh, how terrible the Jews are," or you go, or it's a Jewish death and they're like, "Yay!" Or it's like a Muslim death and they'll count it as, because it's Israeli, they'll count it as Jewish. That's basically how they look at it. They revel with it. Yeah, no, it's a tragedy. But again, we use our military to protect our civilians. They use their civilians to protect their military. It's just that's why there are deaths.
Well, here's hoping it stops soon. That's all I can say.
Well, it's supposed to, according to my son, it's supposed to stop in the next 24 hours. He thinks.
Well, I think it's a horrible thing, war, and it's a horrible thing, that they're doing. So I don't really get involved in stuff like this. I try not to.
It's probably good not to. I mean, I do understand why everybody goes, yeah, I'm not touching this. But when somebody does, and they're so freaking biased,
that's the thing.
I don't need to hand him his arsehole.
This man, he just seems, it'd be the equivalent of me talking about it, armchair punditry, just because somebody has. I mean, this guy's been on TV for quite a long time now, on American TV, and allowed to just mouth off like that. I suppose somebody must respect him. Or maybe it's the British accent that makes it sound like he's some sort of academic.
Yeah,
listen,
I think it is.
He went over the edge when Trump became president. He was the one who, like, when Trump was running, he was like, "Go ahead and run, do it. It's going to be hilarious." Like they always played him on the montage clips.
Dan, do you know about they had a what am I talking about? Not a walk. There was a lot of people disputing in London about this, wasn't there, recently in the news?
I believe so.
There was a lot of protests going on there.
Was it on the side of the Palestinians?
Oh yeah, always.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Right.
It was a lot of stuff. Like, but again, they're like, "We want to rape your daughters." It's like they were. It's like when they were screaming at the protest, like, "Well, that's weird."
They were all the same kind of people as well, who you saw out last year for something else that I won't name. The three letters, they were in support of people going out during a lockdown and smashing up public property. It's all those people.
Yeah, exactly. Dan, on your stream earlier, you posited a question which I intend to try and answer tonight.
What
the hell? What the hell is time fracture?
Don't know.
Who was it on your panel? Said exactly like, what is it? I still don't know.
Simon has no idea what.
It's $50. It's £50, which is a fortune, right? It sounds very cool. It's got all the doctors in and the 2 cosplay doctors. It's and it sounds like they're putting a ton of money into it, like a ridiculous ton of money into it.
A surprising amount of money, more in it actually than they've put into the TV show since 2018.
Absolutely,
and anything surrounding it. In fact, they've cut that much back. I have to wonder if this is a hangover, Rabbi, from that big theme park they were going to do in London a few years ago.
I think it probably it sounds like a hangover from an old idea. Like around the 50th anniversary, people said, "We're making a mint out of this. We've got to keep this going, right?" Yeah. And it's taken that long to pull it together. And it'd probably before the Capaldi years, right? When it was at its absolute peak, somebody had the idea of this.
I think it was around that time, yeah. Wasn't it something to do with Sony Pictures? Weren't they involved somewhere along the line?
I don't know. But it's obviously been going on for a long time. It's finally made it, and it's just so out of date, right?
Yeah, but why have they cancelled it?
Well, the format
James Bond one. They should have done James Bond, and they would have made a lot more money.
Yeah, probably.
Well, those secret cinemas,
market. This is just so out of date.
The Bond secret cinemas sell out in like an hour.
Oh yeah. And they'll pay, and they'll be able to charge £50 for that without, and you get all the tourists coming. Nobody's heard of Doctor Who anymore. Again,
but this isn't like a secret cinema, is it? This is completely different. This is like immersed experience, isn't it?
It's a very much a hybrid of the secret cinema format. But there's no screen. Well, they're screening bespoke made content, aren't they? Audio and video content.
So wait, here, let's read this article because it says the most terrifying thing in the first sentence. Over the last year or so, the Time Lord Victorious arc has really, that was as well. It has encompassed many forms: audio adventures, novels, comics, and they're all shit. It's incredible. It really, without fail, everyone. The only thing I heard that was listenable was the last audio release where it had Paul McGann and it was like half-hour story, and then David Tennant another half-hour story. One was set like before it, one was set after it. But other than that, there was also a short trips which had 2 master stories on them. One was very good, one was crap. The very good one was an alien story which had John Culture playing him. They also had John Culture play him as Delgado, but the story wasn't very good. But that was the only thing worth. Everything else is shit. I didn't read the books, but who cares? They'd lost my interest.
Yeah, they completely tuned. You remember when that launched, you and I, we jumped straight on a stream. We were both totally jacked for that. And I couldn't, I've never touched it. Never, I think I read a comic book.
Other comics were awful. They were just awful.
I never even bothered with the second one.
Does it say what you experienced though? Is it like you just walk in, you pay your money and then somebody shows you around or something? What is it? I don't know.
That's why we're reading this. Hopefully it's going to explain it. Okay, so it had novel comics, short stories to name but 4, but now another is about to be released. Doctor Who Time Fracture is an immersive theatrical adventure which plunges the audience into the universe of the Time Lord. Producer Immersive Everywhere, the team behind the London's longest-running immersive theatre production, The Great Gatsby, is preparing to welcome its first unit recruits. So, in 1940, the height of the Blitz, a weapon of unknown origin destroys a small corner of Mayfair and simultaneously opens up a rift in space and time. For decades, unit have sought undetected to protect the... It sounds like a Disney ride. It sounds like they walk into a unit facility in their first
maybe
right? have sought undetected to protect people from the Earth and endangered possessors. Weakened and beaten back, the fracture has multiplied out of control. They're close to defeat. Time Fracture is written by Daniel Dingsdale, whoever he is, and I had a phone call with almost about 2 years ago. You see, it's like the 2 years before they even started writing it, before Jodie even started. Right, they had no idea what flop this was going to be. Producers saying they had a license to mount an immersive Doctor Who experience, and if I was interested in working with Tom Mailer as director, we worked a number of years. Blah blah blah. For immersive theatre, you can't ask for a better setting than Doctor Who. The whole point of this type of theatre is to create a living world for someone to step into. So it sounds like you walk in. I will look at the other thing. It has pictures of the. You saw the pictures on your last. It sounds like you walk into a unit lab where the time stream is breaking down. You're probably going to see different people appearing. They're going to be live people. They're going to be talking to the screen. That's probably where Doctor Who appears and Captain Jack or whatever. And then you're going to go from there into different rooms and have more of the story told you. That's essentially what I think it's going to be. Yeah, do we all agree?
It sounds that way.
It sounds boring to me.
I mean, it all depends on the bells and whistles and the story, I guess. I can't with that. Sorry.
Didn't Barrowman get fired from this? Then isn't this?
Taken out? They filmed him at great expense, and now they had to cut him, and so they must be scrambling to replace him with somebody else.
Replace him with Mickey. Place with Mickey.
Funny. Yes, they should replace it with Mickey.
Yeah.
No Clark comes round and pinches your bum.
Yeah.
I guess they could get Sean Dingwall in as like a time jumping, whatever guy. What's his name? Thingy type. They get, but again, it's such a. It does.
Yes, that's of course. That's a much more interesting character. I bet he'd have jumped at that, and it could have been his own. Yeah, I'd have done that.
Well, whoever it is, they got to refilm it. But like it does sound. So it sounds like you're interacting somehow with all the doctors and with Captain Jack. You know, so it sounds like it's going to be fun. But again, I think Jodie pops up as well.
Well,
can't have everything, can you? You can't have everything. Well, you saw the reaction on my stream earlier on. You know, most people really couldn't have given two shits, but I was pretty. You know, I'm fairly open to it. The only thing that really puts me off is the price.
Yeah, but also, if this thing's going to land, why does it always in Doctor Who always land either in World War II or some 19th century thing?
True.
It always does that. Well, what's the point? Yeah.
It's the most saleable thing to tourists. That's why. 100%. You know, again, you know, when they did this, they thought tourists were going to come and see this. They're it's going to flop. Great Gatsby, I can see working. And again, this is the sort of thing. I remember I flew to England and I had a vacation there to go to the Doctor Who experience when it first opened. I went there twice actually, and I did. And if Doctor Who was at its height again, when it was exciting, I would do it again. But like,
what about is it like the Aliens? Remember when they had the Aliens?
Oh,
thing
I love that.
That was great. When the guy would lead you around.
Yeah. I think it's like that. I think it's a lot.
I hope it's like that.
Can you imagine?
£50.
Like you say, say it again. Sorry.
Have you ever been to that? The Aliens experience?
No, it sounds good.
Oh my God! 1 second. Yeah, I got it.
It was good.
When they launched this, though, as you say, I mean, it's for the tourists ideally. But I'm just imagining hordes of people, like Twitter activists, turning up. You know, and there's unit soldiers stomping around all over the place, and that kind of alien kind of action, and something quite intense. And they're looking around for the pating and that pregnant bloke. Thinking, what the fuck's this? What's all this blatant machismo?
Alien, was it Trocadero?
Yeah, Trocadero. That's where it was. And you had those. It was really scary. It was scary, wasn't it? Because you had that.
Yeah. Here it goes. 1 second. Here, let me show you.
It's really good.
It's
really
like that. Cool. Hang on. Oh my God, this is so old. This footage. Yeah, I tell you, I've been to Disney, I've been to Epcot, I've been to all those places, and you know, this is still the best I've ever seen.
Really?
It really is.
And it was in London.
Yeah.
Trocadero. Trocadero. That was a long time ago, Rabbi. A long time.
Yeah.
Right underneath Piccadilly Circus lurks something evil.
Oh, who is she again? I used to fancy her.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Incredibly popular.
Yeah, it was just like this.
Yeah, it was. It was scary.
In fact, it was better than this. This looks cheap in real life.
Gary, it's an extraordinary ride, if you can call it that. How did it come about?
I actually do believe it came from a nightmare. My wife and I watched the film Aliens on TV one night. We went to bed. The next day she woke up and she said that this terrifying nightmare that aliens would come in and family and everybody were running down corridors and were chasing after us. And I thought, that sounds like a good idea. Got together with my partner John, and lucky enough John collects a lot of props, original props from the film Aliens, and we thought about building the actual sets, getting all the sets, putting the people, the public actually in the movie for 20 minutes.
That's basically what it is. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Treading the same footsteps as Udo Sigourney. People come in here because they like.
Well, you had people was there though. I don't know about the Doctor Who experience. I don't know how that's going to go.
You know, they got a big cast.
Yeah.
Right. I remember this. This was exactly what so you're in a room, Dan. So, and they're like, okay, we're going to be touring a xenomorph facility. And so everything's locked down, everything's safe, nothing to worry about, right? They go out the room, suddenly the lights go off, and then this red light goes on going,
Yeah.
And he comes back in. He's all dressed up with a pulse rifle and everything. He said, "They broke it out. We got to get out and get followed." And he takes you running up and down the corridor. There's an alien there. There's a strobe light. He's firing. It's like, hey, look, once you see it a few times, I guess it gives.
You can't do it the second time.
But it was really fun. It was really fun.
This girl was screaming behind me all the time. She was a bit irritating.
They always pick one girl who screams to put the alien's face in. But
it was right. It was fun.
Really fun. It was So I think it's kind of like that, but I think this is good. I thought they put a lot more money into this.
Well, if they do it that way, then I guess it would be the unit people that will be leading you through.
This
thing, won't it?
It's got a cast of about 72 people, like 20. It's got a little big cast. Let me reading it and see what it says. I can't think of another property where you can literally go anywhere, visiting locations that would normally have no logical reason. Yeah, it's very true. There's also a lovely tone shift too. I think it's very earnest, also tongue in cheek. It sounds good. It's fun for all the family, but who can afford to take a fat? Again, this is vacation money. You're dropping at £250 for an average family, right? That is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're wondering about
that. The London Eye. It's more expensive than the London Eye. That's like £30 a head.
Yeah,
right.
It is. Yeah. And that's only for that was 10 minutes. No, I think 15 minutes.
That's a 15 years. Hey, this is longer. Yeah. I mean, how much is it? Is an average show? I guess it's must be about the same.
I think 25 quid to get on the London Eye. I think it is something like that or less. But 50 quid's asking for a lot, actually, when you think about it.
Okay, that's fair. But then it says how daunting it is of 50 years or 60 years of canon with monsters and things like that. So it's good. You've only got 2 hours. So it's a 2-hour show, though. 2 hours available. And then, of course, everybody has their own favorite Doctor era villains. You want to make sure you include everything that appeals to everyone. It sounds good. Sounds like 2 hours. Blimey. I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's popular enough to sustain it anymore, though.
I think that's the general consensus, isn't it? That it's why now, and who on earth would put this amount of money into this now and there?
Again, it all smacks of a corporate decision about 7 years ago.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
it took that long to gestate, right? They had to work to get the license. I bet that took 3 years, right? By the time they got the license, then they had to develop it another 2 years. I bet that's basically the timeline.
They were hoping that Doctor Who would still be, this big show that everybody watched. But unfortunately for them, they cast Jodie, and that's now, and that did it. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see who would actually go to this.
Fine. So he says they're talking about, does everybody know what Doctor Who is that make it easier? So the core tenets everybody understands, and each Doctor Who world has a high concept sci-fi scenario. So it looks like they have different locations. Yeah, we've seen the different locations, or indeed a trope from a different kind of narrative. They're building something like this for Judge Dredd as well, I believe.
Gosh, see that working? That would be great.
Yeah, so I'll just look at that. Judge Dredd immersive experience.
Yeah, I think they did. That was a long time ago, though. I think.
No, this is new. This thing called Judge Dredd Uprising, coming to London 2021. Yeah, 1 second, I'll share it.
Trocadero is not there anymore, Rabbi.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Nah, it's gone. It's gone, mate.
Sacrilege!
Yeah. It's gone.
So it's again, this isn't like 100. This is like a 2.5 hours. These they spend a real time on these things.
But
this is the next big thing. This is the next big thing.
So did I show you any clips?
Never heard of it.
Did I show any clips from this immersive thing? Is there a video on it? The Doctor Who thing?
Yeah. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, is this it?
No, this is the Judge Dredd one.
Oh, the Judge Dredd one. I've never been to the Judge Dredd one.
So there's the Crystal Maze live experience. The people who did that.
Oh, right.
Let's see if I can get it playing it last, maybe. Keeps juddering. But these live experiences must be the new big thing.
Well, now Now that people can eat in restaurants now, I guess.
Yeah,
it's the right time to open it, I guess.
Yeah, let me
So,
let's find the Doctor Who immersive experience. Immersive. Here we go. Or is this just the tickets? I don't want the ticket part. I don't want the.
So when is this thing opening?
Soon.
And where is it? Where is it? Is it in London?
Yeah,
obviously it's in London.
Is there a review of it?
There's a review?
Oh yeah. No, this is from January 25th. Inside the immersive exit. This is from January. Wow. Okay. Audiences can explore 17 worlds, meet Daleks, drink cocktails in an ambitious new theater show this spring. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the many movies they've had for it.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look at this.
Oh, it's long. We're not going to see the whole thing.
It's all iconography that's pre-Chibnall. I mean, he's got rid of Unit altogether, remember?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
The silence play a big part of it. You got David Tennant's shoe there.
Mm.
Right.
None of this is Chibnall.
Right. No, this is like the main set that you go into. Well, I guess you're all in a different station. Yeah, you can see that.
Do you go into the TARDIS?
I don't know, but you did that with the Doctor Who experience. That was so cool. I love that. You know what they should do, with all the filmed inserts for the old Doctor Who experience? They should release that as a VR experience,
or even a film where they do deep fake on their faces and stuff like that. That would be really cool.
No, but I'm saying, but they already filmed the Doctor Who experience, where he goes through the time tunnel thing. Did you ever go to it?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, you go through the crack. You go into the TARDIS, and it's so cool because it seems to be like there's a box with you see it behind it, and you go in, it's bigger on the inside, and you're actually inside the TARDIS. That was
incredible, absolutely incredible.
That was incredible. And then after it, you had this just incredible Doctor Who exhibition. Right, this I think the best one I've ever been to. With the old, it had the David Tennant TARDIS there you can see, and then it had the Five Doctors TARDIS. They had a bunch of stuff. It was just incredible.
It was one of the best days of my life when I took my children to that in 2014.
Yeah, it's just absolutely. So I never saw the Capaldi one, but again, they have this whole show that you go. It's like a 10-15 minute show. Made that as a VR experience. They've already filmed it, right? It's already there.
Well, as I said, but you can't really judge this unless somebody's actually gone to it and tell us what it was like.
But look, this does sound good, doesn't it? I mean, let's go
well, Dan has put he's hit the nail on the head. There's hardly any Chibnall stuff in here at all.
Right, exactly. Let's go look at the Radio Times article about it, which has all the
oh god,
all the cameos they filmed for it or recorded for it. They've redesigned Radio Times website again.
Oh God,
it's so annoying. This is it. Yeah,
it's absolute crap, that site.
I know. Tom Baker, Peter Davis, Colin Baker's investment guy, Joe Martin, boo, Joe Diggle are all involved. Okay.
Well, they have to mention Joe Martin and Jodie, don't they? Because of their feminine agenda running through the whole of the BBC.
Just that. Look, from a corporate point of view, they want to include Doctor Who that appeals to everybody, and everybody has their favorite era, right? They don't. Yeah, I hear it. Fine. Let's read this. If the upcoming immersive theater Doctor Who Time Fracture didn't already have you excited, the casting news might change that. It's been confirmed the West End production will include appearances from a host of doctors, including Tom Baker, Peter Davis, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Joe Martin, Karen, Dr. Jodie Whittaker, all of whom featuring pre-recorded cameras. Is this going to be audio, you think?
It sounds like it for the most part. I think they may be to go along with animations and things, not necessarily of them, but of landscapes and things. I suspect that anybody who is actually going to be on screen.
I mean, they say they're going to be on because they say, okay. Meanwhile, Michael Trachtenberg will pay tribute to Patrick Troughton by providing a voiceover of the second Doctor.
Well, maybe they've taken some footage and they've manipulated it with the voiceover.
Maybe. The second Doctor and an array of voice actors will take on the roles of the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctors. Well, 10th and 11th is going to be Jake Dugman. Who's going to do Capaldi?
Yeah, it is him, yeah.
Jake Dugman's going to do Capaldi as well?
No, 10 and 11.
Yeah, we'll do 10 and 11.
Yeah, but why haven't they got the real Doctors in? Why haven't they got the 10?
Capaldi and was it Eccleston is a bit aloof. Have you listened to that yet, though? The Eccleston Big Finish.
I listened to Sphere of Freedom yesterday, and I loved it. It's fantastic.
It's good. But the reason it's
it
good,
was exhilarating. It was funny,
and it felt very organic of the Ninth Doctor, right? It felt like a very, very naturally Ninth Doctor.
Definitely.
But it also actually felt very different, like a different take on him as well, because Ninth Doctor is very Russell T Davies, right? It's very, very all Russell Davies' tropes, all family, all that sort of stuff. This is much more science fiction because it's basically the big group. Yeah.
It did feel like harder sci-fi. It felt like the same universe of such as the episode, which in the one on Satellite 5, bang in the middle, the long game. That kind of sci-fi, but and sort of one foot in the old the 2000 ADs that people like Pat Mills would have written. It felt like those kind of
right. So the something else I was going to do as well.
I've got two, Cataclysm and Food Fight. I've got the other two to listen to, but yeah, I thought the first one was outstanding. And that girl playing Nova.
It falls one really good narrative. That woman Nova is his companion. Essentially, she's great. I just wish they did a photo shoot with him and her as the Doctor.
But he's looking a bit ropey, though, isn't he, today?
Oh, so. Please, just put a leather jacket on. We can shave your beard.
Dye his hair. You'll be fine. Yeah,
no problem. Just put the jacket on.
Where does this sit in the canon, though? Like, if
so
he's got another system.
So according to that, I disagree with Big Finish, the people who created it. They feel his whole season took place at the end of his incarnation because he regenerates at the end. I disagree. I think that first episode, Road, took place right at the beginning. That's the first time he saw himself. Like he looked at his ears.
Yeah,
right? So that's the first time he saw himself. And I think that that was possibly when he right at the end, he asked Rose to join her, and she says, "No, I got to look after Mickey." Right? Yeah. And he vanishes. And then he reappears, and it also travels in time. Right? There could have been years between then. That could have been like
that's what I was thinking.
Right. So it could be there. It seems to be slightly middle of his run. He's a little bit more relaxed with himself than he was in that first episode.
I must admit, having only heard the first one, so I can't speak for the rest. But even though Eccleston himself says this all happens before Rose, to me it works better somewhere after. We don't have to see how Rose and Jack take their leave for a while. The Doctor's the most important character.
You know what? It might be very possible, Rabbi, that when he did have that, if we're looking at it that way, he had those ventures before he met Rose. It's possible that he never saw what he looked like throughout those whole.
That's what I said to Sarah last week.
And it can't be that because they had a picture of him going on the Titanic from Clive.
Really bad photoshopping.
Oh, they're terrible. They were all bad.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Maybe. Yeah. So they're also going to have involvement of Gemma Redgrave as Caitlin, John Coleshaw. There's going to be a voiceover as Brigadier. Nicola Briggs will be the voice of the Daleks and Cybermen. The team of Big Finish, including Jonathan Carr and Tim Trelaw, will take on several roles. So maybe Jonathan Carr is going to play Capaldi. He does a good War Doctor. I'm looking forward to
playing the War Doctor in it.
But why haven't they got Capaldi but to do the voiceover?
He won't do it because he won't.
Oh, he won't do it. Oh, okay.
Time Race is the first time to experience a multi-Doctor story in an immersive environment. This does sound awesome. I have to tell you, the production promising to put fans at the heart of the story. You know what? I think you should all go on this. You know why? Nothing like this is ever going to exist again.
Well,
right?
I'm the only one that can go on it because you're over there and Dan's over there.
You should go, Dan. You should go to London. This is probably the only time you all, the whole gang should go. You and Sarah, you should all go. It's probably the only time anything this incredible Doctor Who thing will exist in the world. And it's never going to exist again, right? They had that incredible show, Doctor Who and the Monsters. Here Come the Monsters, and that was really incredible. Did you ever see that? This was during the Matt Smith years, so I got it from people recording it and putting it on YouTube, and it was just the most incredible thing. It was like the proms, but it was a story with the Doctor and the monster. But the way they included Matt Smith was incredible. He was trapped inside this box, which was basically 4 massive screens where he was projected on it, right? But it was the story of him being caught in the miniscope from Carnival Monsters. It was and it was part live action, part record. It was so clever. You got to go find it on YouTube. But again, that sort of thing's never going to experience again. You should go for it. It was like a stadium show. It was really. I might go for it. I wonder if you're allowed to video in there as well. I wonder if you're allowed to take your phone and video. Absolutely. But it sounds like it's going to be mind blowing. It really does. I mean, even the Jodie bits, fine. But it sounds like it's going to be mind blowing, even with that. The script features amazingly realistic worlds, audience crossover. The show was originally scheduled for 2020, but put off fine. Last week, fans were offered first look at time fracture with pictures released of the storyline. Now we should be able to look at that. Fine.
It'll be interesting, but 50 quid though. Well, at least you get 2 hours in there.
This is the unit room where you go into. You see as he's talking to you there. What's this, do you reckon? This looks like another, a spaceship.
Don't know.
Like some kind of junkyard beyond space.
That's TGI Fridays.
This could be the junkyard from. I think this is actually.
On the left, there's the console from the Doctor's wife.
Yeah, this is that location.
What's the books? What's the books?
I don't know. Leonardo da Vinci, maybe. I think it's a Leonardo da Vinci. Any other? This looks like it's going to be awesome. I have to tell you, it does look like it's going to be really good. I was
quite impressed. I'm glad it's not just me who was quite impressed by it.
No. Look, this is again. It's never going to exist again. You should really go check it out. It's never going to exist again.
I hate to say this, guys. I've got to go and get something to eat now, but it's good to catch up with you as always.
Fine. Listen, I was just going to go over this quickly before I leave because I got to go eat too. I'm hungry. This is a new sale from Big Finish. Going to give you a little guide. Everything's these are all stories that were never made, right? The stories that were written but never made. So Nightmare Fair, you ever heard of that?
I've got all of these. I mean, I quite like Nightmare Fair. I just think it falls apart a little bit towards the end. And being audio as well, it's a very visual story. But Leviathan was absolutely brilliant.
Mission to Magnus is embarrassingly bad. Thank God they didn't make that. That was this weird, dated Battle of the Sexes, weird thing. It just didn't really work. This is awful. Hollows of Time. This they were supposed to have the mastering, but they couldn't do it for some reason. And it was written really badly, Christopher Barmead, and it had him going, well, why is this happening? I don't know. It was awful. It was just.
And it was so obviously the master as well, wasn't it? Wasn't it Professor Stream? They call him Professor Stream instead.
Yeah, they just never explain what was. It's just stupid. Paradise 5 is quite an interesting story by the guy in this background still. It's probably one of the better ones. Point of Entry was that was a reasonably good Elizabethan story, right? I remember that. That was okay.
I can barely remember it.
Again, that's probably why. This was the Pat Mills Song of Megatra. This is he famously wrote this a long time ago, and they never made it. It's not great. It's like big space worlds.
It's too visual. It's too visual for audio. It's like the
right.
like the Nightmare Fair.
Not
Macro's completely forgettable. Written by Ingrid Pitt. Don't remember it at all. This first off the box set.
Ian has to listen to me talk about Big Finish a lot.
I don't like Big Finish at all. I don't like any of them.
Oh, some of them are good. Okay, so this first box set of Lost Doctor is really good. It's got was it Farewell Great Macedon, which is basically the first TARDIS team and Alexander the Great. And the
it works, Rabbi, because it's very wordy, doesn't it?
This one is worth getting for the Daleks pilot episode from the 60s that they never made. Other than that, no. It's Prison Space again. This is as sexist as this one, but at least it was done in the 60s. This is the 80s, and they're the same. I'm telling you, it might be worth buying this to see how embarrassing this is. It's so embarrassing. Thank God they never made that. Philip Mark.
What's that? 22? What is that? $22?
So there, this one is $22.
$22.
This is full Doctor set. This one is totally skippable. I think this is what stories are in this. Foe from the Future. What the story that was eventually replaced by The Challenge of Wang Chiang and Valley of Death. Reasonably dull story. This is totally missable.
I'd rather see Layla than hear her voice. Put it
that reminds me. Dan, you still here?
Yeah.
Okay, before you go, big reveal. We got a new piece of artwork for my campaign. Yeah, they pull this up. Speaking of Leela, there you go.
Bring it on. Come on.
There we go. So I want to include this into the campaign for all the backers.
I was on your show last week when you put it on first.
Excellent.
Yeah. So we call this one Noble Savages.
That's Rackle Welsh.
Rackle Welsh
and Leela, yeah.
And a time machine and K9. What? It all goes together so well, right? So here's what I think. I'm either going to include, if we hit $8,000, which I think we're going to. If we hit $8,000, we're going to include this. I'm going to include this for everybody as a pin-up, no matter what. If we don't hit $8,000, everybody's going to get this as a pin-up. But if we hit $8,000, I'll include this as an A2 poster for everybody, right? You can have this, put this on your wall, so you get this. You're going to get two awesome comic books. You got biblical, 220 pages long. Never mind the quality, fill the width, baby. Listen, it's kind of like if you like Sandman, that sort of thing. It's kind of like that. This is the Imperium, 105 pages long. A love letter to Telefamily in the 1960s. I wrote both these ones. I did the art on this one. Dominic Ratchet did the art on this one. And he also did, of course, for the Mel Gay series, a bunch of cards, from based on my 12-year-old titillations. All of them genre-related, of course. Don't even think it says, I am. I'm going to make these into postcards. You can send them to, your vicar, your granny, whatever you want. This one, the final one, you probably going to want to keep yourself. This deserves a zoom in because it's so freaking good. It's so good. The Force is female. Yes, it is. So they're reporting that Kathleen Kennedy may be gone, but how many times have they reported that?
Yeah, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. I don't see any reason to believe it's true now than it was last time.
We got the Capaldi poster. We got this one. Oh, we got one more as well. We got the one second.
John, brilliant.
Yeah, John Pope. We call that one Great Balls of Fire. 1 second. I'm missing one. So everyone's going to get this one as well if we hit $8,000 as an A2 poster. Right now it's an add-on. Where is it? It is. Oh, here we go. Hang on. It's there. You go.
How long are you allowed to have an Indiegogo campaign up anyway?
As long as you want, but I'm trying to close this one off because I want to launch my new one. Yeah. So this is the poster. It's Bohemian.
Oh wow, that's great.
So there you go. But you got one second. Let me just close on the the new artwork. I'm going to put this as a pin up for everybody. But if we hit $8,000, it gets supersized, right? Supersized, you get.
Look where her hand is, though. Look where Raquel's hand is.
I know. And you know you can't tell where Leela's other hand is, but you know.
No. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, all that, and also somehow I think he's got their relative heights correct because Raquel was supposed to be quite tall. So there you go. Fine, go. You know, listen, Steven Kingston wants me to do was Ornella Muti from Flash Gordon. I'm going to do her. I'm going to be doing what's the other one? Somebody keeps Barbarella. That's going to be in my next campaign. I'm going to continue the male gaze into my next campaign. Okay. Yay. So yeah, that's these are all. I'm not sure what they are actually. I think they're a combination of pencil and paint. Pencil and paint.
Pencil and.
Oh, was it the Tom and Sarah Dane picture? I never showed that one. You're right. Thank you, Prince Thomas. Because I still got to do a little bit more work on this. This is what's called Forever Young. I think if I just do a little bit of work on this hairline over here, I think we can pull the whole thing together a lot better. But I think that's what the problem with it right now in my mind. But I can do that. I think it's the hairline's just a little bit too big around there. I think we've got to pull it back a little bit, and then and then it'll look more more real. But anyway, Forever Young, I like to imagine Tom Baker and Liz Sladen forever in the TARDIS, growing old together. That is the way it will be. Fine. Okay. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. I'm hungry. I have to
so
dinner. Everybody go ahead and sub to everybody's channel. Go ahead to sub to Facebook. Go ahead to sub to Rebecca Gold. Always go there. Tell you, Mega Geek, always recognize a pretty girl. If you like the ladies, go check out his movies. You always have hot butt kicking spy chicks in them. I like that in a lot. Right. I've hit the end broadcast button. I'm here to get